Grenchen stages Liverpool's second pre-season friendly ahead of their new Barclays Premier League campaign. It's Will Downing here for FC Lucern against Liverpool, live from Switzerland here on SETANTA Sports. A mixture of the young and unfamiliar for the Swiss side. Well, as for the Reds, Diego Calavieri makes his first start for the Reds as they continue their pre-season schedule. The Brazilian stopper joins Philippe Degan and Sebastian Lito in the starting lineup, with Jamie Carragher captaining the side in the absence of substitute Steven Gerrard here in Grenchen. Daniel Agger continues in defence, while Spanish starlet Daniel Pacheco is once again in the side following his impressive performance against Tranmere. This is Diego Calavieri, who thankfully is not wearing his regular number of 64. Many of the Liverpool squad have been given massive numbers for the start of the season, including Pacheco, who's 52, Insua, who's 48, Plessis, who's 47. But they are all being withdrawn, thankfully, for this pre-season friendly. Philippe Degan, second appearance for him, one of two new signings. He wears number 3 tonight for Liverpool, having signed from Borussia Dortmund. A very young-looking Lucern side. They're all under the age of 30. Quite a few teens in their squad. Good time of the year for Andre Voronin. Scored last year in the Champions League qualifiers against Toulouse. So Lucern get us underway in Grenchen. Liverpool 1-0 winners over Tranmere Rovers on Saturday. A lone goal from Yossi Benayoun, who keeps his place in the starting lineup for Liverpool tonight. Carragher, Benayoun, Voronin, Agger will all be familiar figures for you. Quite a few unfamiliar names too. Carragher. Lucas Leiva. But offside given against Lucas, and Lucerne have the free kick. Large crowd at this Stadion Brule. Lot of red shirts, but a lot of those with Swiss accents. This is the Lucerne captain, David Gibon. He's been with the club for the last 5 years. They are a mid-table Swiss league outfit. Finished 6th last season. It was their best season in years in the 10-team Swiss Super League. Benayoun and Zibung tested for the first time tonight. A little bit of extra sharpness needed, which will arrive as the season progresses. The 20th of July is Lucern's first game in the Swiss Super League season. But they had played in the Challenger League, just a notch below. Coca-Cola Championship, second division standard. For a few seasons before that, before making their way back into the top flight. Agger. Philippe Degan, the Swiss international, sat out Euro 2008, but was in the Swiss squad under Kobe Kuhn. One of 7 players starting the season with Liverpool who were picked for their countries for Euro 2008. Voronin chasing, but won't get there. Sheriff Hasic wears 31, one of the summer signings for Lucern. It may have been a busy summer for Rafa Benitez with 6 signings. Lucern have made 8. Looking for Pacheco, who's wearing 9. 17-year-old Spaniard, signed last summer. Liverpool may have had the usual 4th place finish in the Premier League, but things are looking good. They've won 2 of the last 3 FA Youth Cups. They won 2 Reserve Leagues last year, the Premier Reserve League and the National Reserve League. And quite a number of tonight's squad featured in those triumphs under Gary Ablett. Great defensive name of old, one of the few links with the current club of title winners. Sammy Lee is another, sitting alongside Rafa Benitez. Already concerned for Rafa off the bench. David Chiamento, the Swiss under-21 international. There are 2 full internationals in the Lucerne squad. 10 have played representative honours at underage for their country, most with Switzerland. Chiamento again did well. Support from Jamel Mesbah, the Algerian international, on this near side, but was instead trying to thread it through to Hasic. Diego Calavieri, making his Liverpool debut tonight, was on the bench for the win against Tranmere Rovers, the Brazilian goalkeeper signed from Palmeiras. Benny Hornen had made the challenge forward. Benny looking to win back, but has given away the free kick. Lustenberger. Lucerne have played 4 times in Europe, but we haven't seen them in European competition for something like 18 seasons. 2 Swiss Cup finals for 2 of the last 3 seasons, but lost them both to Zurich and FC Basel. Lustenberger, and has he won a corner? Would have done very well if he had. It is a goal kick to Liverpool. Degan has won 3 Swiss leagues already and 1 Swiss Cup for FC Basel, for Christian Gross, a name that you might just remember from times past, especially if you support Tottenham. Lustenberger will take the throw. Another Swiss under-21 international, 21 years old at present. 4 of the starting 11 for Lucerne are under the age of 25. 9 of their bench yet to blow out that number of candles yet. Beto. Plessis. 2 appearances for Liverpool in the league last season. Damien Plessis, the French signing from 12 months ago. Carragher. Control by Leto. He's trying to open the door for Emiliano Insua. Agger will police that through to Cavalieri. Degan. 29 times capped for his country as well. Liverpool were one of the more represented clubs at Euro 2008. 4 of whom ended up winning the title with Spain, but they've all been given a few extra weeks off. Ryan Babel is in this matchday squad, having fallen with an ankle ligament injury on the eve of Euro 2008. Degan and Babel, the only two who were named in the Euro 2008 squads who have been named in this early pre-season tour for Liverpool. They're playing 8 matches before the season kicks off. Sviaka Sforza, the former Swiss international, coach of Lucern. Liverpool's next game is on Saturday against Wisla Krakow, and we once more will have that for you live here on SETANTA Sports. On the bench for Liverpool tonight, such talent: Steven Gerrard, Sami Hyypiä, Ryan Babel, Javier Mascherano, who is Olympics bound. Heading there for Argentina. Lucas, who has started tonight's game for Liverpool, is also heading for Beijing to play for Brazil. Liverpool's free kick. One 0. And Lucas scores. The man who wants to win Olympic gold finds the target for Liverpool 10 minutes in. Well placed beyond Zibung. And Daniel Pacheco, the 17-year-old Spaniard, marvellously setting up the 21-year-old Brazilian. Liverpool's kids are all right. They lead Lucerne by a goal to 0. It took them almost an hour to get the only goal against Tranmere Rovers, scored by Yossi Benayoun, against a Tranmere side who've made quite a good few signings themselves, including Giorgio Callahan, a frisky Irish playmaker who was signed in the past week. Good ball through for Voronin. Might have thought about the shot, may still have an opportunity to do so. Degan and the overlap. Lustenberger getting in the way. Had spent 13 seasons with Creams as a schoolboy youth. But then as soon as he turned 19, he came over here. Dangerous cross, and there's the equaliser for Lucerne. 1-1. Zveretic and the Liverpool defence completely split. Back down to earth immediately. Deep cross for Mesbah. And Zveretic gets the equaliser. After only 12 minutes, Ferreira causing trouble down the right flank. Excellent header. So not straightforward at all for Liverpool, but they are breaking forward. Voronin waiting in the middle, causing the goalkeeper Zibung all sorts of trouble. Many more Liverpool fans here than those supporting Lucerne. I think the Swiss fans would have appreciated the equaliser that brings Lucerne level. Mesbah. Looked to be maybe a bit of a dive. Battling with Day again, and well, he slipped more than anything else. Mesbah, the Algerian international, as Vornen makes the break forward, but was caught offside. A golden moment in the history of FC Lucern. Very shoddy defending from Liverpool there. And that's had Benitez off the bench again. Pacheco. Well, like so many of the Liverpool squad, no first-team experience. Signed from Barcelona youth last summer. Featured in that Premier League reserve side. Excellent play by Lito. Support in the middle. Pacheco is waiting, but Liverpool do have the corner. Benayoun going over to Tech. Schwegler is there. Edge of the area is Carragher, who's making his way towards the back post. That was aimed more at Pacheco on the near post, and this is he again. Major deflection, but Zibung was equal to it. 145 league appearances for FC Lucern. Very hard to beat a 6'2" goalkeeper with something like that. Chiamenta. Lucas diving in, and Liverpool have the free kick. Some referees might have let that go in a pre-season friendly. Chiamenta, who has played for Juventus, was a first-teamer. Got very few openings in his 3 seasons at Del Alpi. Lukic. Vornen. Looking for Pacheco in the middle once more. But was well marshalled by Roland Schwegler. Herrera losing to Plessis. Vornen! Well, the goalkeeper seemed completely unplaced. Ambitious strike from Vornen. Let fly from long range, and that marvellous goal he got in the Champions League qualifiers from slightly closer in. It was still a blockbuster. Much was expected after that. But he only did score 6 goals in 25 appearances in all competitions for last season, Andre Vornen. Lucern, a club with Liverpool connections. David Fairclough played here in the 84-85 season, following his super sub days while wearing red. Ottmar Hitzfeld, the outgoing Bayern Munich manager, played here for 3 years. Stefan Wolf, who featured in Euro 96 for Switzerland also. Alex Fry, who featured fleetingly in Euro 2008, and there may be changes on the way for Lucerne too. Another dangerous ball, and a good ball in by Lustenberger. Pushed forward by Ferreira, and they are looking a lot more useful than Liverpool would have wished, Lucerne. Philippe Degas. Continued the run, and a good touch by Benayoun, but was expecting someone in the middle, and that someone would not arrive. Lucas, the Liverpool goal scorer. Long by Aga. Here's Pacheco, who's kept the ball in play well. And Liverpool have the corner. Pacheco, born in Malaga. Played for their youth side before joining Barcelona. And now here he is looking to play among the big boys regularly. He has done in the reserves. And almost a second. Firm header. But just too high. Scored a stunning goal against Watford a few seasons back, Dan Aga, in the Premier League. His game against Tranmere was his first since last September, a series of metatarsal injuries. Long by Sveritic. Pereira causing trouble again. And Cavalieri called into action once more. Perhaps seeing a lot more of it than he wants to. Westenberger. Support behind from Jamel Mesbet, the Algerian international, who's won the Swiss Super League with FC Basel under Christian Gross, and who was a clubmate there of Philip Degas. Voronin, lovely ball in the overlap for Benayoun. The pullback, but no one there in a red shirt. Might have thought about the shot, but perhaps the angle was too tight. Ferreira, the summer signing from FC Thun. He's played Champions League. And Cavalieri called into action once more. Ten clean sheets for Palmeiras in the Brazilian League and the Copa Libertadores last season, Cavalieri. But whether he will push out Pepe Reina from his place between the posts at Liverpool remains to be seen. The substitute goalkeeper tonight for Liverpool is Danish, Martin Hansen. Benayoun. Carragher. Flying crossfield ball. And Leto, but there was nothing doing. Drops for Plessis. Leto. Creating well so far, Sebastian Leto, the Argentine. 21 years old, he really is picking them up young as Rafa Benitez. Opening for Voronin. Beautiful ball, Pacheco! And Zibung reacted at the right time. Lucern have the free kick. Liverpool almost had the 2-1 lead. Lovely ball in by Voronin. Benayoun let it go through to Pacheco, and Zibung's fist connected at precisely the right time. Otherwise, you would have put your money on Pacheco to have made it 2-1. And here comes a change. Christophe Lambert is going to come on for Lucerne. Only 22 minutes gone. And Sveritic goes off. Groin injury, we're told. But after 22 minutes, Lambert, Swiss under-21 international, Gavaz Provic. Continue the run. Giamento is there also, but it will roll through to Cavalieri. Did they look as if they were overplaying it a bit too much in defence, Liverpool? Leto. Benayoun. Support from Voronin in the middle, headed on by Degan, who's pushed himself forward very deep. Plessis. On for Leto, stretched well to keep the ball in play. Has Lucas to aim for in the middle, overplayed it though, the Argentine. Another member of that reserve side that swept all before them last season. 4 first-team appearances for Liverpool, 2 in the Champions League, 2 in the Carling Cup, but none in the league because of passport problems. Only 1 home pre-season friendly for Liverpool. And their summer build-up, and that's against Lazio on the 8th of August. That's where it is a real tour of Europe in 6 countries, and it might be a losing tour. Just enough done by Lucas to deny a second Lucern goal. But the summer cobwebs have got to be dispatched by Benitez, because Liverpool do not look sharp tonight. Nodded beyond Cavalieri by Gavazprovic. Almost in for another goal. They do have a corner though, Lucern. Came off the back of Agger's head. Diving in for it is Giamento, a deep, dangerous cross, headed out by Plessis, and another corner for Lucern. Met by the head of Degan this time. Comes out towards the sub Lambert. Recent arrival. Foul on Plessis, and Liverpool have the free kick. Much to the ire of the tricky Gavazprovic. Carragher support on the overlap from Degan. We're very near the Swiss triangle of the cities of Bern, Basel and Zurich, which held matches in the northern and eastern parts of Switzerland for Euro 2008. Football season only over 2 weeks and it's kicked off all over again. Degan, marvellous tackle by Jamil Mesbah. Another one of the recent summer signings, 7 in all. He's joined from FC Aarau. And Shua receiving from his fellow Argentine, Leto. They're doing well to crowd the defence, Lucern. And they look sharp on the break too. Giamento. Very few of the Lucerne side have played at what could be described as a high level at all. Mainly the Swiss league. Although Giamento has had Serie A experience with Juventus and action with Le Mans in the Championnat. He has scored everywhere he's got, no matter how few games he's played, and has scored at international level too for Swiss under-21s. Voronin on the overlap. Beautiful ball, and Benny Yoon for Voronin. Good save, flicked away by Rengli. And Plessis with a follow-up that left a lot to be desired. But a nice, swift, quick Liverpool move. And maybe, for its entertainment value alone, deserved a goal. Marvellous ball in by Voronin to Benny Yoon. But Zibung has done very well. 2 losing Swiss Cup finals for the Lucerne goalkeeper. But he is one of his country's better domestic goalkeepers. And Benny Yoon denied from making it 2 goals in 2 pre-season friendlies. Lustenberger. Short for Gerardo Sione. And he's been around as well. Sione, he's played for Deportivo B in La Liga. Was the Grasshoppers for 3 or 4 seasons before coming over here. A regular for Lucerne. Long by Letta. Looking for Voronin. Look where the goalkeeper's come out. Zibung, and he's in big trouble. Benny Yoon should have punished him. A rush of summer blood to the head. Came out, beat Voronin, didn't know where he was heading it to. Just as well as the pre-season friendly. Been Lucerne's regular keeper since joining them 5 summers ago. Sione. Kavazkovic. Ball forward by Lustenberger, probing again, looking for Chiamento. A good young-looking Lucerne side, and maybe a few names here that we'll be hearing more of in future years. Interesting thing is they only have 2 teams in their squad, Lucerne. Liverpool have 2 teams in their starting 11. Another 3 on the bench. Pereira has caused Liverpool immense problems tonight. Champions League experience with FC Thun. They were in Arsenal's group a couple of seasons ago. A dream Swiss League triumph for them. And looking to push Lucerne back into European football. Whipped away by Plessis. Again, only 2 appearances for him last season for Liverpool in the league. Made his debut against Arsenal in that 1-1 draw at the Emirates. Carragher's been very vociferous in the past few minutes. I think he's getting quite frustrated at how Liverpool are playing. Maybe a side featuring Lucas and Leto, Plessis, Ensua, Pacheco, unfamiliar names. But he feels, I'm sure a lot of the Liverpool fans feel, there should be just a little bit of extra class. Pacheco, the player, fouled. Voronin looking to take a quick free kick. Mesbah, the offender. Voronin. It's a good strike. Just couldn't keep it straight. 6 goals for Liverpool last season, having scored 53 in the Bundesliga for Bayer Leverkusen and FC Köln. Really good goal-scoring rate as well. He scored at the rate of 1 every 3 games. He hasn't been able to match that at Liverpool, hence he hasn't really been a regular. And he may have a bit of defending to do too from this Lucern free kick. Sheriff Hasic is the man who's holding the ball. Another test coming perhaps for Cavalieri. Bit too much jostling for the referee's liking. Mesbah with it, dangerous. Agger and Plessis up in the air, and Liverpool have the free kick for the foul on Vorinin. Missed a bit of the season with the ankle injury, which he suffered in training back in January, but returned with goals against Blackburn and Tottenham in the last couple of weeks of the season. Final day against Spurs, great way to go into the summer. Even better way, of course, would have been to play in Euro 2008, but no joy like that for the Ukraine, having reached the quarter-finals of the World Cup and being beaten in the last day. Thanks to 3 second-half goals from the eventual champions Italy, so they could leave that tournament, leave Germany holding their head high, but it just went wrong in the qualifiers after that for them. Mesbah. Lustenberger was on the overlap, but instead whipped in a dangerous one. Ferreira. Well, it would have been Marco van Basten-like had he kept that on target. A cross out of absolutely nothing. And Ferreira, the nippy Portuguese winger, with a strike of some quality. Degan. Vorinin. Liverpool have the throw-in. Agger. Short for Ensua, the Argentine, with the under-20 World Cup winners for Argentina. Support from Leito, his fellow Argentine. Swore he should have got a free kick, but didn't. Instead, they might just get a second goal, and Vorinin has produced an utter touch of class. 2-1 Liverpool. Lovely chip, saw the goalkeeper Sibung off his line. A little bit of summer class. And Leito may have been down injured, but there was no Euro 2008 ruling this time. Liverpool remained onside, and Vorinin with a marvellous finish. That was Leito on the deck. That was Vorinin with a lovely chip. Might not be so easy to do that at a muddy Britannia Stadium in December. But a bit of summer class from Vorinin, and Liverpool lead. Last time Lucern conceded, they scored within 2 minutes. What can they achieve this time? It's Lustenberger who's lost it. Lucas. Plessis. Leto short for his fellow Argentine Insua. Vorinin. Lucas. They were stringing the passes together with some aplomb, Liverpool, but as it has done for quite a bit of the game, it just went wrong at the end. Trying to maintain their lead this time, which is what they failed to do after 10 minutes after Lucas scored. Benayoun. Liverpool kicking off their Barclays Premier League campaign on the opening day against Sunderland at the Stadium of Light, 16th of August. There you go. Ball by Lucas, looking for Voronin, who rose and got the touch. It's a good time of the year for Voronin to score, but will prefer to have a more complete season in the campaign coming and to avoid injury. Plessis, 20 years old, signed from Lyon last summer, but featured very little. Pacheco, Voronin. Almost completed a sly 1-2 for Pacheco, but Schwegler got in the way well for Lucern. Jamel Mesbah, and he's been around in Switzerland. French of Algerian origin. Servette, Basel, Lorient and Arau, his former clubs. Benayoun now. Likewise a well-travelled career. Degan's throw. He too has had his injury problems, only made 12 appearances last season. That was a contributing factor to him being picked for Euro 2008, but not playing because of lack of match fitness. Matsua. He's only played 5 times for Liverpool, having signed a couple of years ago. Made his debut April of 2007, and this is Benayoun. Pacheco. Benayoun looking to create again. Leto should have made it 3. But they're beginning to string it together well up front now, Liverpool, at long last. 2 attempts at a cross from Benayoun. He tried Pacheco first of all, then went for Leto, who could get a shot on, but not on target. Another new signing is on the bench for Liverpool, Andrea Jacena, the full back of the year in Serie A last season. After a magnificent campaign with Udinese, he and other big names will be sprung out in the second half if necessary. Degan. Lucern have the free kick, the foul by Lucas. A nightmare debut in many ways for Liverpool. It was in that FA Cup game at Anfield against Havant and Waterlooville. Was blamed for the first goal from the non-leaguers. Seemed to get a bit of extra assurance as the campaign went on and as Liverpool progressed in Europe. Made sure of their place in the Champions League for this coming season. Leto. He's done well. Can he create the cross? Pacheco in the middle. Lustenberger drawing a handball from Pacheco. Lucern have the free kick. Christophe Lambert.
Achtung, Achtung, hier noch einmal die Mitteilung. Der Automobilist mit der Nummer Solothurn 22.425 muss dringend umparkieren. Der Automobilist mit der Nummer Solothurn 22.425 muss dringend umparkieren. Er befindet sich auf einer richtigen Zufahrt. Herzlichen Dank.
This is being played on neutral territory in Grenchen, Lucern's normal stadium. The Allemande Stadium only has a capacity of 13,000, despite being built for over 30. Safety issues saw the Swiss FA slash the capacity by more than half. Currently being prepared for the Swiss Super League season, which kicks off next week. Leto looked to have done well, but has given away the free kick for the foul on Ferreira. It's Lucern's newest signings who are looking the most impressive for them so far. Ferreira, Mesbach, Rengley in defence. This is Rengley. Now Voronin. Good vision, Pacheco almost released, but cut out marvellously by Sioane. Swiss with Spanish connections. Denying a lad, Spanish born and bred, from a clear run through on goal. One minute of stoppage time at the end of this first half, and Liverpool content to go in, leading 2-1 at the break. They went ahead after 10 minutes through Lucas, but a leveller from Lucerne through Elsad Sveritic pulled it back at 1-1. Diego Cavalieri could have been considered to be at fault for that, but Liverpool regaining the lead just before half-time. A marvellous chip by Voronin, meaning at half-time it's Liverpool 2, Lucerne 1. Stadium in Grenchen. Will Downing with you for this pre-season friendly. Liverpool leading FC Lucerne 2-1 at half-time. Twice they took the lead. Lucas after 10 minutes, but Lucerne levelling 2 minutes later through Sveritic. Voronin making it 2-1 with 9 minutes left in the first half with a lovely chip. I'm certain that Rafa Benitez will have had a bit to say about some of the defending and finishing at half-time. And we're anticipating changes to be made. Lucerne already making one. Sveritic going off with a groin injury after 22 minutes to be replaced by the Swiss under-21 international Christophe Lambert. Liverpool back in friendly action on Saturday. That's a 5 o'clock kickoff UK time, midday East Coast United States. Very early hours of Sunday morning if you're watching in Australia and New Zealand. Winslow Krakow against Liverpool we'll have live for you. Following their 1-0 victory against Tranmere Rovers on Saturday, Liverpool looking to continue on winning ways. Some interesting friendlies they have lined up though. Hertha Berlin, Villarreal, who made the Champions League semi-finals, losing to Arsenal in a penalty shootout back in 2006. They've got Rangers away at Ibrox, Vålerenga, and then Lazio to round off. 8 days before the new season kicks off against Sunderland on the 16th of August. Sunderland, Middlesbrough and Aston Villa, their first three opponents. Gareth Barry certain to play in that game. Villa against Liverpool, but who for? Talk also about Xabi Alonso. Juventus will not be signing him now that they've got Christian Poulsen, the Dane from Sevilla, so does that open the door for Alonso to move to Arsenal? Liverpool looking for Gareth Barry, also Robbie Keane being rated at 22 million euros, around $32 million. Ireland's record goal scorer of all time and rather useful to Tottenham Hotspur. Sebastian Leto, the Argentine, has proved rather useful in the first half. Ryan Babel is coming on for the second half. May well be a change of goalkeepers as well. Martin Hansen, we've just seen, greeting Diego Cavalieri, who will start. There's an extra Brazilian on the pitch for Lucern as well, in the form of Paquito. Jamie Carragher, we will not see in the second half. Carragher, Agger and Degan, we understand, have been withdrawn for the second half. Huppier, Skirtle and Ryan Babel are coming in for the second 45 minutes. We'll see Stephen Darby too. And he's the fourth change for Liverpool in this second half. The news is coming to us intermittently. But just the one change that we can see for Lucerne with Paquito. He's just returned to the club on loan from Neon Paralimi in the second half. Sami Huppier taking the captain's armband from Jamie Carragher for this second half at Grenchen. Sven Koenig, the reserve keeper for Lucerne, is also on for the second half for David Sibon for Lucerne. Cavalieri with a short touch, and Ensua. Voronin, scorer of the lead goal. Quick back heel by Pacheco, but caught offside. Looked good, pacey in the first half and came close to scoring a number of times. Benayoun has also gone off, so he's the fourth Liverpool player. Degan, Agger, Benayoun and Carragher are off. Huppier, Babel, Skirtle and Darby are all on. Four changes that, I'm afraid, haven't been announced. We've just had to do it doing some detective work. So Benitez ringing the changes at half-time. That's gone past Lustenberger. Liverpool have an unexpected throw. Lucas looking for Babel in the overlap. Like Philip Degan, named in the Euro 2008 squad for the Dutch, but that ankle ligament injury meant that he missed the tournament. And that's why both he and Degan are on duty tonight. And the other five who played at Euro 2008 will return in time for the season in a couple of weeks' time, but are skipping the early friendlies for now, including the Spanish contingent. Dirk Kuyt is expected to be back for that friendly against Wisla Krakow at the weekend. The relatively early Dutch exit in comparison to how they played, losing in the quarter-finals to Russia in Basel. And the flag's up for offside against Giamento. Jacopo Ravasi's just come on for Lucern, also a summer signing from FC Ville, who's played in Serie C and D in Italy, which perhaps says a bit about how a mid-table Swiss side could be considered ranking as.
4 Spielerwechsel bei Liverpool in der 46. Spielminute.
Plessis.
Anstelle der Nummer 3 Philipp Degen, der Nummer 5 Daniel Acker, der Nummer 15 Yossi Benayoun und der Nummer 23
Lambert, Voronin, held off it by Schwegler. Voronin again, but can penetrate. Lucas. Stephen Darby wearing 14 for Liverpool tonight. Pacheco looking for a ball, but he couldn't control it.
Number 4, number 6, number 14 and number 19. Ebenfalls 4 Spielerwechsel in der 46. Spielminute beim FC Lucern. Anstelle der Nummer 1 David Zibun, der Nummer 8 Davide Chiumiento, der Nummer 10 Jamel
Lucas
Mespa
looking for
und
Voronin.
der Nummer 21 Nelson Ferreira. Spielen neu im Tor
Met
mit
by
der
the head
Nummer
of
18
Hupia.
Sven
He headed
König,
long.
Leiter mit der Nummer 11 Jacopo Ravasi, 25 Paquito und 32 Milan Gajic. For substitution on Lucern side, number 1 Dave Zibun, number 8 Davide Chiumiento, number 10 Jamel Mespa and number 21 Nelson Ferreira are replaced by number 18 Sven König, number 11 Jacopo Ravasi, number 25 Paquito and number 32 Milan Gajic.
And now that lady can go home and put her feet up. She's done a sterling job. 4 changes each at half-time. This is forward by Martin Skrtel, the Slovakian international. It was a £6.5 million signing mid-season. Another man who made his debut in that shaky FA Cup victory over Halland and Waterlooville. Could argue hasn't really looked that assured in the Liverpool defence since then. Here's Babel. Support behind, lovely ball for Pacheco, and can Pacheco get the finish this time? He's gone very wide. May come out towards Lito again. Free kick it is. Foul by Lucas, who got the opening goal for Liverpool. Nice ball in towards Pacheco. And he's got the makings of a lovely player. 17 years old. Signed from Barcelona. And he's already won silverware in England. 2 reserve titles with Liverpool, the Premier League reserves and the National League reserves, as have quite a lot of today's matchday squad. On the overlap is Lustenberger. Ripped away by Skrtel. Hasic. Rengli. Pressure for Christophe Lambert. The first of Lucern's 5 changes so far. He came on midway through the first half for Elsard Sveritic. Controlled by Paquito, the Brazilian. Not really one for the future, though he is at his prime now at 26 years old. This is Leto, the Argentine. Plessis for Leto. Good cross, but too hard for Pacheco. And Lucern have the throw. To recap those half-time changes for Lucern: Zibung, Chiamento, Mesba and Ferreira off. Here goes Voronin, and Pacheco. Good save by Sven König. The half-time replacement for Zibung, the reserve keeper for Lucern, with a good stop and continuing on the good work by Zibung from the first half. Offside given. Voronin releasing Pacheco, and a good stop. And how much more does Pacheco have to do to score? Onside when the ball was played, and Koenig did well. Koenig, who's come on along with Paquito, Milan Galic and Jacopo Rafasi. There's Liverpool's 4 changes. Off-going Degan, who was impressive, Agger, Benayoun and Carragher, and oncoming Hippier, Babel, Skrtel, and number 14, Stephen Darby, 19-year-old. Voronin back for Babel. Lucas will take up the story instead. Voronin tried with a back heel to find a way past Lustenberger, who stopped him well, but it's a foul on Mario Gavazprovic. Another substitution on the way. And Lucern are looking to make more changes. Number 9 is Goran Koranovic, the summer signing from FC Volen. Liverpool are bringing on Aurelio and bringing off Sebastian Lito. Enrico Chirini has also come on for Lucern. Fabio Aurelio, the Brazilian. Lot of success under Rafa Benitez at Valencia, where they won 2 Spanish Liga titles and a UEFA Cup. And Lucerne have made every possible substitution now. They had 7 players on the bench and they're all playing now. Voronin, not much support forward. Pacheco is there with him. Voronin's done well. Pacheco tried to complete what would have been a lovely 1-2.
Substitution on Lucerne side. Number 7, Claudio Lustenberger, and number 13, Mario Gavranovic.
Lustenberger and Gavazprovic are the 2 players who've gone off to be replaced by Koranovic and Chirinzi. 2 men who have just signed from FC Volen in the past few weeks ahead of the Swiss Super League season. They only have a window of 3 weeks to sign players between the opening of the transfer window and the start of the season. If I'm not mistaken, that's Paquito, the Brazilian, who's taken a bit of a knock. It was Aurelio who made contact. It's almost face on face, wasn't it? So that means treatment for Aurelio as well. It's Jacopo Ravasi who's being treated. Another summer signing from FC Ville, one of the other mid-table Swiss sides. Well, this is not a time of the year to get an injury. He's had his pain. He's missed the tail end of the last 2 Champions League campaigns, torn abductor muscle against Chelsea in the semi-final of the first leg. Then there was an Achilles tendon injury in the quarter-final of the year before against PSV. Had scored against Bolton back in March. We're off to Freiburg on Saturday for Liverpool's friendly against Wisla Krakow. Not too far away from here in Grenchen. Stephen Darby. That match kicks off at 6 o'clock local time, so that will be midday Eastern time in North America, in the United States and Canada, and will be considerably later, around 2 or 3 a.m. on the east coast of Australia. Good touch from Michael Rengley. Three big summer signings for Liverpool, Degan and Cavalieri starting this match. Andrea De Sena still on the bench, and we may still see him, although they have now made 5 changes. Chances are we will. Steven Gerrard came on as sub, the club captain against Tranmere Rovers at the weekend. We may just see him in the closing half hour. Javier Mascherano also on the bench, as is the 19-year-old local youngster Jay Spearing. Just like Stephen Darby, Merseyside born, and a regular in the Reserve League title-winning side. Asic for Lucern. Good ball in the overlap, looking for Milan Garic. Just rolled beyond him, Darby policing it out, and a goal kick for Diego Cavalieri. Third Brazilian at the club after Aurelio and Lucas, and who's had long campaigns with Palmeiras in the Copa Libertadores. Won this season by Liga de Quito, if you've been watching that on SETANTA Sports, and the Copa Sudamericana is coming up in a few weeks' time, all live on SETANTA, Australia, New Zealand. It really is now a 12-month-long game. And in fact, the new season in Europe had officially kicked off before the old season had ended, with opening round games of the Intertoto Cup commencing on the penultimate weekend of Euro 2008. And there are 4 ties in the Champions League tonight in the preliminary qualifying round. This is Ryan Babel. Needs a bit of extra sharpness, a few more games in which to create something out of something, which he had the opportunity to do there and could create nothing. Not a really assured clearance by Sven Koenig. He's been a reserve keeper everywhere he's been, but he comes with a good reputation. He's still only 22, 4 competitive appearances for Lucern. Do wonder though what Rafa Benitez would learn from a pre-season friendly against Lucern, and how much is it about just spreading the word about Liverpool getting a paycheck. Voronin, he has support. Pacheco is in the middle. Voronin may go his own way. Nice back heel by Pacheco for Voronin, but the Ukrainian couldn't control. Rengli. It was an excellent run by Enrico Shirinzi. It was Karanovic lurking in the middle, and the new signings are combining well. And off comes Damien Plessis, and Jay Spearing, another Liverpool youngster, 19 years old, comes on in place of the French 20-year-old.
Anstelle der Nummer 7, Daniel Plessis, spielt
Suffered a broken leg a couple of seasons ago. He's won their most recent FA Youth Cup in 2007, the FA Premier Reserve League last season. No competitive first team appearances, but did play at the weekend against Tranmere Rovers. Great for the likes of Spearing and Derby to get first team experience and rub shoulders with the bigger names, the Gerrards and the Callaghers and the Voronins. The Spanish contingent still have a few weeks off. They'll return from their Euro 2008 celebrations, perhaps with a couple of extra pounds, perhaps with a bleary eye or two. But expect them to be as sharp as usual once the season kicks off on the 16th of August against Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. You're just joining us, Liverpool 2-1 up, twice taking the lead through Lucas and Andrei Voronin with a lovely chip after 36 minutes. It was Zveratic who levelled for Lucern shortly after they went behind, and now they could go further behind here. Pacheco, good support from Babel, but wanted to score his goal, and a rueful look across towards Babel, who was expecting a pass and a chance to make a three. Aurelio, short for Voronin. Insua, Aurelio had the chance to cross. Spread back towards Insua again, the Argentine. Voronin. Had left by the time Boca Juniors won the Copa Libertadores last year. Insua never actually played for the first team either, but did lift silverware in the Under-20 World Championship with Argentina. Tapia. Long looking for Aurelio, who's pushed forward from the back. Galic. Now Lucas, who got the goal-scoring ball moving after 10 minutes. Babel. Short touch back towards Jay, Spearing, his first touch in the game. Voronin. Babel. Voronin has come for the return in the middle. Can Babel pick him out? That'll be a corner. It was Aurelio's shot. Perhaps Liverpool's best move of the second half. They haven't had too many. Aurelio will take. Skirtle is forward and Hupia is too, and Hupia looked like he was being held. Aimed at Lucas at the back post eventually. Liverpool have the throw. Hupia was being dragged all over the place at the edge of the 6-yard box. And perhaps in a competitive game that could have led to something, but lots tend to be let go in pre-season friendlies. Langley. It's long and it's dangerous. It's found Galic. He'll have a shot on goal, and Hupia got in the way. Took a split second too long, and that gave Hupia enough time to deny the danger. Lambert. And here comes Pacheco again, and he's released Voinen. Voinen's got the time. Does he have the angle? He wants support too from Babel. It's arriving from Jay Spearing. Dangerously across. They will earn a throw in Liverpool. Lucas. Chip too high for Pacheco and Voinen. The scary thing about Pacheco, I suppose from a commentator's point of view, but also from Liverpool's point of view, he was born after Liverpool's last league success. 1991 he was born, 17-year-old Spaniard. Wasn't on this planet when Liverpool last lifted championship trophy. 9,600 is the official attendance for tonight's game, which is just about a full house for the Royal Stadium here in Grenchen. Lucern's regular stadium has a capacity of 13,000, which would have satisfied a few more Liverpool fans. Of course, they would have been satisfied a bit more if, for safety reasons, the capacity hadn't dropped from its original 30,000 in Lucern's own stadium. Pacheco. He's a good-looking player, Pacheco. Still a little bit of youthful over-exuberance, a little bit of inexperience cropping in occasionally. This is Christophe Lambert. Made his debut for Lucerne at the age of 17. Almost made 100 appearances now. It's a good ball in the overlap for Karanovic, and there's plenty of blue shirts to aim for in the middle, but he won't find any of them. Aurelio. Well, Reese has gone to Roma. Finnan could be on his way to Tottenham or Villa. Alonso seems Arsenal bound, and Arbeloa could find himself on the bench for a lot of the season, along with Mascherano. Sissoko moving his way to Serie A as well, so lots of changes during the summer for Liverpool. A few new pieces of the jigsaw have arrived, and possibly more to follow. Keane maybe, Barry maybe. But Liverpool's more youthful players in this pre-season squad. There is some promise on Benitez's boys. How well by Lucas, and now here goes Voinen again, who has bossed it largely for Liverpool. Pacheco, this time maybe. It just won't happen for him. Schwegler in the way again. Plenty of European experience himself with Grasshoppers. Lucerne are signing some key domestic players, looking to get into the European positions. Haven't qualified for Europe for over 15 years. That Uren Cup that you see, by the way, a reference to a competition that Manchester City were due to be involved in. But they find themselves in early season UEFA Cup action, so with a New manager, new regime, and Eastland's decided against competing in this pre-season tournament that the likes of Borussia Dortmund have been involved in. Assured play from Martin Skrtel. Lucern have the throw. It's the sort of lackadaisical play that Liverpool have shown in fits and starts tonight. Might just give Rafa Benitez something to mull over. The second friendly of 8 in their pre-season campaign. Nodded down by Hyypiä with confidence. 6 times the Finnish Footballer of the Year. And in the season, Liverpool won the UEFA Cup. Was crowned Finnish Sports Person of the Year. Always great to be appreciated in your own land. What appreciation would there be, though, of a pass like that? Javier Mascherano due to come on for Liverpool. It'll be their 7th change of the game. Well, a man who played a lot of his football with Grasshoppers in his career. Low strike, which Cavalieri had no trouble with. Now it's Aurelio. Good pass by Galic, but the effort from Karanovic, the Swiss international with Bosnian origins, couldn't get a proper strike on. Foreigner must wish in every match he would have this space. He has been able to show what he can do in this game. Excellent holding role in midfield, but every week and every game won't be like this. Pass by Paquito was good, trying to create a corner or a strike. But Cavalieri in the way again. Looking a lot more comfortable in the second half. Karanovic was waiting in the middle, but was never going to get there. Forward by Aurelio for Babel. Position wide on the right for Pacheco now. Signed last summer. The boy has played against many men in the reserves. The back heel from Babel was the right idea in the wrong place. Not exactly sure why Cavalieri came charging out. Could have been costly. You always tell when a crowd's getting restless because the Mexican wave started now. Insua. Just 5 league appearances for Liverpool so far in Insua, but he has signed a new 3-year deal that takes him through to the summer of 2011. Aurelio was blocked by Christophe Lambert, the first half sub, and Lucern have the free kick. So Pacheco is withdrawn, and on comes Javier Mascherano for the remaining 12 minutes. Pacheco looked frisky early on, just tired as the game wore on, which in a pacey-ish pre-season friendly for a 17-year-old, I suppose should be considered decent enough. Here's Lucas breaking away. Voronin was nudged. That's a good strike, but not quite good enough. It's side netting from Voronin. But a great chance to make it 3. Through for Voronin, a good first time strike, side netting it was. Stayed onside well. Lucas with the pass, timed the run perfectly, did Voronin. But couldn't get the finish, might this time. Throw from Jay Spearing for Stephen Darby. Both 19-year-old Merseysiders, both looking to make their mark on Liverpool FC. Skirtle. Mascherano. Insua. He's continued the run. No real support in the middle, and Christophe Lambert with him. And it's been given as a free kick against the Argentine. Was expected to come back into the Liverpool squad to play Wisla Krakow on Saturday. Well, he's coming in 3 days early. Dirk Kuyt's marvellous Euro 2008 campaign with the Netherlands, which surely finished too soon. He replaces André Voronin, who's had a marvellous game. Well, Dirk Kuyt's summer ended in Switzerland. Now his new season is starting in Switzerland. Just about a 90-minute train ride from Basel as well, where the Dutch fell to Russia. Babel. Lucas. Kuyt. Offside. Well, what a moment it would have been for Jay Spearing. Well, he was onside, Jay Spearing. Unless Babel was considered to be interfering with play. He was very close to Spearing when the ball was played, but Spearing himself was onside. Plenty of Liverpool departures so far this summer. Peter Crouch, John Arne Riise, Danny Guthrie, Anthony Letalek and Harry Kewell have all left the club. 3 others, lesser players, sent off on loan. And the prospect of Alonso and Finnan perhaps leaving as well. And they will lose Javier Mascherano and Lucas for a couple of weeks at the start of the season as they chase Olympic gold in Beijing. Christophe Lambert back for Sven Koenig, getting his moment in the sun. Eight changes now for Liverpool and 7 for Lucerne. It's only in international friendlies that the limit is set at 6. For a split second, Shirinzi was finding himself heavily crowded. He had 4 Liverpool players around him in his own half, which exemplifies how well Lucern have done to get the ball level with the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. Goranovic presenting himself, facing Derby. Good overhead kick attempt from Galic, but off target. But a moment of great promise. The Bosnian Goranovic was in the middle also. Worth a try beneath the Alpine view. Saraiko Sforza, well-known Swiss international, played at Euro 96. Featured in the Swiss side that opened up so promisingly against England at Wembley, that 1-1 draw. And Lucas is through. Couch is in support. But the header away is by Schlegler. Spearing. Now Babel. Mascherano. Aurelio continued the run. And that's Sven Koenig's ball. Hasn't been tested as much as David Sibung has been. Sibung conceding 2 first-half goals. Koenig yet to concede in the second half. But don't forget, Liverpool's next friendly against Wisla Krakow, just across the road in Freiburg. That's live with you at midday Eastern time if you're watching in SETANTA, North America. And it is 2 a.m. Eastern time on Sunday morning if you're watching on SETANTA, Australia. That becomes 4 a.m. if you're in New Zealand, and late on Saturday night if you're watching on the West Coast. All of which I'm sure is exciting, but not as exciting as the prospect of another Premier League season. Kicks off in a month's time. The usual suspects all looking to get their hands on the Premier League title. Liverpool have been there or thereabouts without really looking like title contenders the last 3-4 seasons. And there was that campaign when they needed to win the Champions League in 2005 in order to get into the Champions League the following season, in finishing 5th. But new signings, Degan looked good in the first half. Cavalieri does not right now look as if he's going to be a regular fixture in goal for Liverpool. Andrea De Sena, who made the Serie A Team of the Year last season, gave Udinese their best season in years, got them into this season's European action, but who mysteriously missed out on Roberto Donadone's Euro 2008 squad. He's still watching on the bench. A man who's been signed with an eye to replace John Anarisa. Well, that was sloppy. Skirtle's header just going beyond Cavalieri. Not much assurance. Cavalieri claimed well. Brazil, you would have to reflect and concede. Never really noted for their goalkeepers. Looked like Babel controlled it with his arm, but the referee saw nothing wrong. Well, it has been typical pre-season fare, hasn't it? But absorbing to see Liverpool back in action as the pre-season friendlies get into full swing. Four friendlies in the space of 10 days for Liverpool. Then they take a break of a week, and then 4 more friendlies in the space of 10 days as they move into August. But then the serious stuff arrives at the Stadium of Light. New campaign underway. Maybe a pre-season friendly. You can still see the anxiousness from Rafa Benitez and the concern. 6 more pre-season games before this, so they can iron things out and get things right for the new league season. Good header away by Skrtel. It was a dangerous ball whipped in. Looking for Koranovic. A bit too probing and easy for Cavalieri as the 90 minutes an hour. Must be a strange atmosphere for a lot of these Liverpool players to play in. It is a full house here, but only 9,500. Babel, can they finish with a flourish? Babel unable to find his international colleague Kat, who was the first of the proper Euro 2008 players to make his return to action for Liverpool, who had the throw. So Liverpool continue on winning ways in their pre-season campaign. Their 1-0 win at Tranmere on Saturday, followed by a 2-1 Swiss win over Lucern. Lucas breaking the deadlock after 10 minutes, only for Sveritic to level 2 minutes later. A beautiful chip from Andrej Vojnin proved to be the winner with 9 minutes left in the first half. The Dutch fans didn't get to see a Dutch goal, but they did get to see a Liverpool win as it finishes in Grenchen on Liverpool's pre-season tour of Europe before the proper action begins next month. It's finished Liverpool 2, Lucern 1.